Hello everybody, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and today we're returning to Cauldrons of War. This is a Eastern Front war game that looks at Operation Barbarossa to the Soviet winter counteroffensive of 1942. This is part 2 of another look at the German invasion of Russia. We're trying to find success. We have not yet won this campaign in any of the games that I've played so far. So we're trying as best as we can to do that. It is August of 1941. We've taken Kiev. We're driving on Kharkov. We're making quite a bit of progress in Army Group Center towards Smolensk. So there are places where things are going well for us as the Germans, but it's also one of those things where this is a tricky one. It's not an easy game to win, and so we'll see how we do here. I guess let's just jump right back into it. So first things first, Army Group South. Actually, let's do this. Let's attack with the Romanians first. So the Romanians are getting close, I think, to finishing off the Soviet troops in the south near Odessa. But again, 3 straight attacks and no success there. So the army groups, the German units, the panzer groups will drive south at Uman. They'll have success there. Now they're getting pulled into the drive to support the Soviets, I guess, down here. Let's actually, before we do that, what's the Kiev front look like? It's still open, so we'll take Kiev. So, a lot of progress down here. We're all the way to the Dnieper, I think. All right, so this operation should conclude next turn, and we should move east toward Odessa, the siege of Odessa, and Sevastopol. Meanwhile, we could drive on Moscow from the Tula offensive in the south going forward. Are these guys part of Army Group Center? They are. So Soviet counteroffensives trying to get out of Gomel fail. So we'll take that objective here as well. So we clean up the center of our lines there. That moves a lot of our Army Group Center forces, or some of our Army Group Center forces, back to the battle for Smolensk. We're refitting the 3rd Panzergruppen away from the front. We'll go to the front. Do they not have any fuel? Apparently not. Airlift them fuel. Blitzkrieg attack, 8% progress. We're up to 82% progress in the Battle of Smolensk. But it's kind of grinding to a halt as the Soviets bring in lots of reserves, and some of our troops have been drawn south. Meanwhile, Army Group North. Defensive withdrawal. Airlift. Breakthrough? Nope. Well, we pinned them. So that, I mean, we pinned the last unit, the operational group, the Luga operational group, but no real success there. Meanwhile, the Finns are approaching Leningrad from the north. So one of their units was surrounded by the Leningrad district fortified regions, but then the 4th Finnish Corps counterattacked and broke through. Meanwhile, in the north, Operation Polar Fuchs, a bunch of Soviet divisions are sort of in our way up here. God damn it. I don't have any ammunition for any of these guys. I guess that's the end of turn number 2. So we're moving forward to mid-August. So now we have to choose priorities. The general staff is divided. We essentially have to choose between prioritizing Leningrad, Ukraine, or Moscow. If we prioritize Moscow, Army Group North, Center, and South lose 1 command point this turn only. If we prioritize Ukraine, Army Group South gets 2 planes, 1 command. Army Group Center loses 1 command. I think that's permanently. If we prioritize Leningrad, then it's the opposite. So Moscow is I guess, the priority. That's the one where it seems like we're giving the least trade-offs. We're sticking the closest to the plan. Okay. Reverse front. Fuel supply. Blitz. No progress there. Great. I keep getting no progress on this Smolensk front. Are these guys tied to Army Group South? They are. So first things first, let's finish off. I think these guys are also Army Group South. Okay. So we'll progress there. That brings us into the Siege of Odessa with the these guys. This is the Romanian front, though, I think. Whereas this is Army Group South. Any of these troops move forward? No? Okay. Well, that didn't work. Thought maybe an airlift would help us. What do we need still? We still need more ammo. So more ammo. All right, so the 11th Army is working on Odessa. The other units are going to be driving toward the Dnieper. And then Army Group North is still working up the Luga Road. %5 progress is all we can get. Okay, that was a good attack by our infantry. Our infantry seemed to be getting more effective at this point in the campaign, while our armor seems to be sort of bogging down. Okay. All right, so that's the situation there. Do we have any reserves in Finland or in Norway? We do have some in Norway. We just don't have any. I don't have any ammunition for any of these guys. I'm just not really gaining any progress in the north. They're totally going to get Lend-Lease support, and there's nothing I can do about it. All right, so nothing really happened that turn as we move. At least no events occurred that turn as we move toward the next turn here. So we surrounded the 1st Mechanized Corps north of Leningrad with the Finnish troops there. Good result for us. Army Group North, meanwhile, continuing on the Luga Road, not making a lot of progress. I'm going to try and refit those guys and see if we can't get them to the front more effectively next turn. Army Group Center still trying to make progress on the drive on Smolensk. We're at 82%. The infantry attacks here seem to be the most effective routes to go. Okay. So we gained some progress that turn. We did surround the 25th Soviet Mechanized Corps. Meanwhile, the drive on the Dnieper succeeded. So we now have the option to drive in towards Sevastopol, or continue the assault sort of to the east toward Rostov, which is an objective in of its own right. I'd rather drive on Tula, to be honest. All right, so we finished off the fortified region here in Odessa. The 11th Army is now just dealing with the Soviet Navy, but the Soviet Navy is pretty much always impossible to dislodge in my experience. So you see we've got this heart icon, which means we really need to refit. I think we'll just send them ammunition and hope for the best. We do lose a bunch of trucks in that operation too. I don't know if the Soviets can reinforce Army Group South at all during the Siege of Odessa or not. Operation Polar Fuchs. You know. Cohesion, no progress. That's just a stalemate up there. And it is now the end of August. Meanwhile, Spain did not join our war, but General Franco did not forget our help during the Spanish Civil War. A division of Spanish volunteers is equipped with German equipment and ready to be sent to the Eastern Front. Where do we need it most? Army Group Center, I think. Whoops. Okay. So let's see what happens in Odessa. The Soviet Navy launches counterattacks. I guess that's probably more just like bombarding, right? Does Romania have any troops there? No. Can these guys go to the siege of Odessa? Are they allowed to go there? It doesn't look like they are. I guess if we move them to the Axis center in Romania, they can do that, and then from Romania they can probably move forward to the front, but they have to wait, so they'll refit there. We'll use a point to refit them. And they'll move there next turn. Meanwhile, I guess we'll dig these guys in, ask them to hold out against the Navy. And then Army Group South's going to try and drive into the Crimea. A bunch of Soviet reserves are moving to deal with the 4th Romanian Army as it attempts to drive in wherever that place is. The Tula offensive. Let's break through here. So we destroyed the 24th Army. The 32nd Army is still facing us as we drive north on Moscow from the south. Meanwhile, the Battle of Smolensk is still raging. Infantry assault there. Infantry assault here. Wipes out another Soviet unit. Okay. Pull back for our armor to try and hopefully set it up for the final drive on Smolensk next turn. Luga operational group is fully refit, I think, so we'll go to the front. Give them some fuel. Breakthrough operation. There's no option to reverse front. All right, so we finish the attack there. Wipe out the Luga operational group. The 48th Army is on its way, however. Okay, so we finished the drive in the north there on Leningrad. So there might be one more battle to fight in the north. We'll see if the Soviets send more troops there, but the Finnish have gotten to Leningrad from the north. I'm just not doing anything in the far north. No progress as we move into September of 41. We're running out of time. Soviet counteroffensives in the south near Kursk. Defensive. Let's give these guys more. Okay. So I wipe out both units on the drive on Tula, and then the 6th Army will progress. So we're driving on Moscow from the south. Meanwhile, Army Group Center. Is it worth like trying to pin the enemy or something like that? I don't know. All right, these guys... Let's do this. Let's give these guys an airlift. Assault. Ammunition assault. Blitz. So 7% progress there. So we made a little bit of progress. We wiped out another Soviet army here, the 29th, in front of Smolensk. They're down to 2 armies directly in front of Smolensk. More reinforcements. No, actually not. So we surround the last enemy unit on the Luga Road. We then eliminate them. And we make 71% progress toward Leningrad there. Meanwhile, on the Romanian front, the Soviet Navy continues to pound the 11th Army, which is exhausted and needs a respite. So we'll go ahead and send these German troops to the siege of Odessa. We will send these guys to the front. We will send these guys to reserve. And so the 11th Army will refit next turn while the Security Corps hopefully holds out against the Soviet Navy in the siege of Odessa. It uses all my points, by the way, now that I realize that, so I can't drive south into the Caucasus towards Sevastopol until that operation is cleared up. Meanwhile, my Finnish troops up here have nothing to do, so I guess we can put these guys to reserve, to the strategic reserve, and then send this corps north to Norway. Once they arrive in Norway, they'll be pinned, so I can't really do anything with them up there. Oh shit, these guys are surrounded. Try and break them out. There's 2 Finnish corps. Arrange the Kessel, so hopefully they can hold out a little bit longer before they surrender. All right, mid-September now. All right, these guys arrange the Kessel. Okay, Operation Polar Fuchs. So we're sending more reserves to the north. It's becoming a bit of a bleed on our resources here. Meanwhile, the Panzer unit makes progress there. I'm going to have the 18th Army try and drive to the east of Leningrad so they can link up on the Sphere front with the Karelian Army, because we get a victory point for that. Meanwhile, in the center, 2 more Soviet units move to the front. Okay. So I'm making progress on Smolensk, but I just can't finish the job. Even from the south, however, Soviet counteroffensive against 2nd Panzer Group and actually splits it into fragments. So that's bad. All right, so a Soviet counteroffensive, where are we anyway? On the Kursk-Tula offensive is pretty successful there. Drives us back. Oh, yes! So the Soviet Navy broke itself, and we took Odessa. Good. So Odessa is ours. Meanwhile, we're driving on Sevastopol, which I think gives us extra points also. And I'm not sure. Those guys are pretty shot up. I mean, I don't have anything to do with these guys. They're refit. They're in good shape. They've got cohesion. I mean, I don't. Yeah, I don't know what to do here in Finland. So we have 2 options here. What to do with Leningrad? Starve Leningrad. That increases barbarity by 10. Increases the victory points that Moscow will yield. Increases the victory points that Ukraine will yield. Rostov as well. Or stick to the initial plan, which has no effect. Now, I'm not going to take Leningrad. It's basically highly unlikely I'm going to take Leningrad. But I don't like the idea of increasing the barbarity by 10. What is our barbarity score right now? Can I not see? I guess we'll do it. I'd rather isolate it. As we continue driving east. Meanwhile, Army Group Center. God, these guys are just impossible to dislodge. I can't make any progress on these guys. Defensive withdrawal, airlift, breakthrough. No progress. 1 Soviet casualty. guys need fuel. Nice. So we gained quite a bit of progress there, 24%. We also gained some fuel. So the 12th Corps and the 24th Motorist are both surrounded. But we did break up the defenders of Tula down there in the south, so maybe that'll shift some Soviet forces away from us. Meanwhile, we got to the siege of Sevastopol, which is just the Soviet Navy against us. So we might take that. If I can get into Rostov, that'll give us more points, especially now that we shifted our focus away from the Leningrad front. Okay, all we can really do on the north and the Finnish front is some cohesion penalties. That's about it. Okay, so we're already to the level 2. Meanwhile, precious tanks, where are we going to send our armor? I guess Army Group South needs them the most. That's where we're having the most progress, so we might as well reinforce success. Okay. That was an unsuccessful turn in the south. Romanian front, drive on Smolensk. Let's refit that armored group. I think we'll be able to take Sevastopol eventually. All right, so these guys... just not making any progress. All right, I'm refitting these two armies with the hope that when I bring them back to the front, we can break through at Smolensk and start the Battle of Moscow. All right. I don't even know what this northern army is doing all by itself up here. I honestly just kind of feel like ignoring Finland because there's nothing good is coming of anything up here. As we move into October. We're going to prioritize winter supply, but I don't know. We'll see if that does much for us. Meanwhile, we've been pushed back onto the defensive in the north. Okay. All right, so a nice blitzkrieg attack there. Army Group Center, meanwhile, the enemy did some raiding on us. Go to the front, go to the front. Assault, assault. I need an airlift for these guys. I guess we'll put them in reserve. Give them a refit. I'll get more trucks. Cohesion gain. I mean, they didn't lose cohesion, so I'm not sure that's the best move. All right, let's focus on these guys. Trying to get to Rostov down there in the south. Doesn't seem like there's anything in our way down there. All right, so they attack the Navy there. 3 artillery, 2 cohesion damage, 8% progress. Pull these guys back to refit. Odessa and Sevastopol will give us points. So that would be a good result for us as we move into October. Let's check on Sevastopol first. Nice! Blitzkrieg Assault. Sevastopol is ours. No, I died! Ha! I way overextended myself, then I attacked these militia and we died. So 82% progress there. What is this? The pursuit to Rostov? Do we have anything we can send out that way? Yeah, the Italian Expeditionary Corps. They should be able to deal with Soviet militia. Meanwhile, the entire Romanian front is now freed up with the seizure of Sevastopol. Also, all of these Soviet units, these 4 corps, are all surrounded here by us bypassing them by taking Sevastopol and driving to Rostov. So these units are all surrounded. So we should be able to pivot the focus of our other units. What do they need? Fuel? 4% progress? Give me goddamn ammo. Just can't make any progress. We're stuck at fucking Smolensk. All right. I mean, I'm not really doing anything. I'm just kind of staying on the defensive in Finland because there's nothing really else I can do up there. First snow, so that gives us cohesion to all penalties to all non-Finnish troops. Counterattack there wrecked the 4th Panzergruppen, so it's been split into subunits that are much weaker and actually are surrounded. Just lovely. All right, so our Italian Expeditionary Corps finished off the militia there and made it to Rostov. And we'll have them dig in at Rostov. These guys to Army Group South. 17th Army. I guess we'll move them all to Army Group South with the points we have left. So the 17th Army and the 1st Panzergruppen will be good to advance. Meanwhile, Army Group Center still trying to get that last assault to get them to Smolensk. We did it. We finally got there. Well, we took Smolensk, so we now have the entire Soviet force here, by the way, surrounded in the center here. 16th Army, 30th Army, 28th Army, 43rd Army, 26th Army, and the 49th Army are all surrounded because that was a Kessel operation. I'm going to use the remainder of my points by reinforcing the ammo on some of these units, because I presume they will launch attacks to try and break out. And we'll move to the next turn. Operation Typhoon. So the Soviets are massing on the road to Moscow, so where will the Wehrmacht destroy them? It's time to launch Operation Typhoon. If we do launch Operation Typhoon, Army Group North and South transfer 2 planes to Army Group Center. North and South Command lose 1 command point. Army Group Center gets +2. The reserves are transferred to Army Group Center. 50% of Army Group North and South trucks are reassigned to the center. The other fronts are important too. So I'm not going to change the focus of our advance just to at the exclusion of everything else, especially when Army Group South has some success down here. We're having some success with some of these units. Additionally, Army Group South is going to be sending some reserves with the Dawn counteroffensive. So we're going to send some troops to the Dawn counteroffensive to help the Italians out over there. We're also going to send these guys to the Kursk-Tola offensive. So the Kursk-Tola offensive is going to get a new Panzergruppen and 17th Army to come support them in the drive from the south. Army Group Center, a bunch of Soviet units surrendered here on the Vizima Road. Okay, so 24% progress here. The plains would be nice as a way to... So I used all my points up finishing off the 49th and 16th armies, which means we'll have, in theory, the option to progress for free next turn, but they're going to rush reinforcements in for sure. With whatever they have, I'm not sure what they still have left. What are these guys doing here? Why aren't they... Also, why are there 3 armies here? The Romanian front still has some additional troops. These guys are all surrounded. I would expect them to surrender soon. Security Corps, Army Group South. I guess that's all that's left for us is to transfer the Romanian units up to Army Group South. So move forward into November. How are these guys doing? Not good. Okay. Meanwhile, Army Group Center, only one enemy unit moved forward here to oppose us. What do we need? We need fuel and ammo. Well, we wiped out the 5th Army, but we didn't make a whole lot of progress toward Moscow there. Meanwhile, Army Group South, strong Soviet counterattacks against our troops down there. One of our surrounded motorist units surrendered. Okay, what's the situation here? There's no... Okay, urban fighting. All right, so we surrounded the 50th and 38th Army. We destroyed the defenders of Tula. 86% progress from the south. Soviet counteroffensive over here, by the way. Damaged the Italians. I didn't use my points to move these guys to the front, so we need to hold them off there to hold Rostov. And we finished surrounding and destroying these guys. So, I mean, Finland's a dead front at the moment. Okay. Okay, so where the Soviets are on counteroffensive, our troops remain pinned. So this is we can't afford to get driven back there. So we should move these guys toward the Luga Valley, I guess. Is that this front? Yeah. So we'll dig in there. Where are these guys going? The Italians continue to hold out. Okay, so we'll hold there. Meanwhile, in the south at Orel, Blitzkrieg assault with the Panzers there gains some success. No success with that. Or that. Damn it! I should have reinforced one of the armies and just launched an assault there. Army Group Center, what reserves does it have? Zima Road, go there. All right. So we made progress in the center. %36 progress as well on the drive. Is it the drive on Moscow? The road to Moscow? So we're unopposed on some of these fronts. I don't know that they have a ton of reserves to throw in at this point. We've destroyed so many of their units. We'll see. Soviet armies on the Moscow road are entrenched. Let's not get distracted. Great. So our Air Force is basically grounded at this point. But there's no Soviet troops in our front. So the road to Moscow is clear. We are now at the Battle of Moscow. I'm going to take this moment to refit my troops for the final attack on Moscow. It looks like the 78th Infantry Division and 16th Army Cavalry are in our way for surrounding of Moscow from the north. Meanwhile, the Soviet counteroffensive in the south against the Romanians on the Don counteroffensive is going nowhere so far. Okay. So we're so close to the southern drive as well at Orel. Meanwhile, they are having some success perhaps on the northern front here. Their counteroffensive up there. Let's use what's left of our northern points here to try and make progress on the northwest front. Probably not going to link up at the sphere, but we might drive well past it. The battle for Moscow. Okay, so the battle for Moscow is beginning. It's still just these two Soviet units. Launch a breakthrough with our armor. Launch an assault with our infantry. We destroyed the 78th Division. The 16th Cavalry is still there. I'm guessing there's going to be the Siberian reinforcements arriving next turn. Looks like the 28th Army's been reformed. Oh, jeez. Oh, shit. What is this? A complete breakthrough in the Baltic counteroffensive up here in the north? So our northern flank is collapsing. Do we have reinforcements we can throw in the way? Okay. I guess we'll have to see what happens next turn. Arctic convoys are going to help the Soviets out. Northern Front. What is this anyway? The Baltic counteroffensive. There's got to be troops we can send to the Baltic counteroffensive. Is this an Army Group Center thing? Or is it because I'm confused here? Why can't I send these guys to the front? I'm a tad confused. Okay, so that operation is over. So we're now approaching Moscow from the south. Sixth Army refit. 17th Army refit. All right, so we're approaching from the south there. Oh shit, was that that was my Army Group Center points? God damn it. That was confusing. Why can't any of these guys go? All right, so we succeed there. I don't quite know what this thing is, the Baltic counteroffensive. I guess maybe it's Army Group Center. I can't send these troops anywhere but the middle. So I guess we'll have to see what happens next turn. If I lose because of this sort of central counterattack. No, it doesn't even give me that option. That's weird. All right, so let's drive. Okay, so I'm not sure if we have one more turn or not. It's early December. But our central northern attack on Moscow is at 12%. We have the last Soviet unit there surrounded. There are definitely some troops in this. I don't understand why I can't do anything with my Army Group South points now, though. It's just kind of like, okay. Maybe I should have focused on Moscow, I guess. It's kind of like, what am I supposed to do with all these command points? And apparently I can't throw any of these guys in the way of the counteroffensive in the north, which is also frustrating. Okay, we'll keep Hitler in command because it doesn't seem likely that he would be removed at this stage. No progress there. Strong counterattacks in the south. They seem stronger in the south. Not making any progress in their counteroffensive there. I need more damn points. Okay. Yes! All right, 64%. Give me one more turn. We'll take Moscow from the north. Is that it? No, it's not it. Okay. I think now we just have like militia in the city itself, but I don't think I have another turn. Fuck! Marginal victory. So we didn't... I guess this is the best I've done. I got 7 points. I am 1 turn shy of taking Moscow, which would have given me like 5 victory points and would have been a decisive victory. So essentially, the richness of the Ukraine, we get 3 points because we basically took all of the Ukraine. We get 2 points for taking the Teutonic Riviera, which is Odessa and Sevastopol, in the south. We also, the Crimea can no longer start as a starting base for Soviet Air Force units to bomb the ports and oil fields of Romania. We have a springboard to the Caucasus with taking Rostov, so we can drive in to take the rest of the oil fields next summer. It does claim the Red Army is still strong. We destroyed 19 of 30 armies, so in theory they won't surrender quite yet, but literally all they had left as of January 3rd was militia in Moscow. And I don't, the rest of their armies might have been strong in the north, but I think we were in pretty good shape to continue that war. In any event, it was a victory, just not as brilliant a victory as it could have been if I had 1 more, maybe 2 more turns. As it is, it was a fun challenge. We got there. We did better than I've done before. I think my previous best was 6, which might have also been a marginal victory, but I haven't done that on the channel before. So there you have it. Cauldrons of War, Barbarossa, Eastern Front game, turn-based. A lot of fun. Hope you guys enjoyed the videos. Let me know your thoughts below. And until next time, this is the Historical Gamer saying once again, thank you very much for watching. And until next time, I'm out.